Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Job5 again. I'm doing a review on the XPS 15R2, and that is the L502X. For those of you that did not watch my first video, again, I was just comparing the XPS 15R2 versus my wife's 1545, and like I said, it's not a good comparison because one is quite old and this one is very new. But now I'm just going to do the XPS 15R2. I'm just going to review it. I told you in the first video that this trackpad is sometimes, I don't experience, if my palm or my wrist is on the trackpad, I experience like any jumping in the mouse. Actually, I have not experienced that at all, like type in or doing anything. I have never experienced that. Which is very good because, like I said, I do not like trackpads that cause my mouse to jump somewhere if my wrist is just slightly right here, or if I'm typing and it's right here. I don't like that, or my mouse becomes unresponsive. But anyways, I've already showed you how the trackpad goes, up and down with the 2-finger swipe. You can go 2 fingers left and go back a page if you're on the internet, go forward a page if you go right with 2 fingers. If you're on the internet, it goes forward a page and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty sweet. I like it a lot. I got monitors up here, and this one, like I said, this is the Core i7 processor. I have 8 cores, 4 cores that are physical cores and 4 logical cores. So there's there's a thread to each core pretty much. So core 1 and 2, actually none of these cores right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are there's 0% usage right now. Every once in a while maybe be a 1 or a 2 usage. So that means that this SSD, the one that I have hooked up inside my computer, the ADATA S599, 240 gig, it is not using the hard drive. I know that there's a lot of SSDs that actually do use the hard drive quite significantly, which means 5 or 6%. That's not very significant, but if you're trying to save on battery power, that is quite a power drain if it's just constantly using that at all times. So I'm not experiencing that with this solid state disk. And I point right here because it is right here, and it was kind of a beast to get off. I was scared to take the top off of this. I was going to do a video, but really I didn't want to jinx myself and slam something through my screen or something like that, and then Dell be able to, well, I guess I just didn't have to post it up anyways. But anyways, all I know is that it's fairly easy to get off. If you're not comfortable with doing it, don't do it. And I wouldn't suggest doing it because, I don't want to be held liable for you guys going, oh, you should have told us not to do it, bro. Yeah, don't do it, okay? But anyways, it is possible, and it is a very good upgrade if you're able to put an SSD in it. What I'm going to do is get rid of this here barbaric CD drive, DVD drive, so to say. And the reason why is because I do everything with Steam. I got digital games. I probably have not used CDs in maybe 2-3 years, so I have no need for a CD drive. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead, remove this, put it as an external because I have an external enclosure for a CD drive. I'll go ahead and put my 640 gig hard drive in a caddy, and then it'll be right there, permanently closed pretty much, and I won't have to worry about the I guess having the CD drive spin up every once in a while in case I do have a disc in there, which I never really do have a disc in there, but I'm just saying, I just don't like CD drives. I don't like them at all. No I don't. It does have the card reader up at the front, which works pretty awesome. It's got the little protector that you could put in there. I don't really care for the protector too much, but it is here. Kind of looks like an SD card itself. It says Dell on it. There is touch buttons up at the top of it. The first one is the waves, brings up the sound. The sound of it is phenomenal. There's no point of me trying to show you what the sound sounds like on YouTube, but just take my opinion and a lot of people's opinion on it, and it is excellent. The best sound I have ever heard on a laptop. And trust me, I have experienced, seen, worked on, and owned myself a lot of laptops. This grill even feels really nice. I like it. Feels nice. But the speakers on it, I mean, good sound projection. Not only that, it's also if something's on the left-hand side and you're playing a game and something's trying to scare you on the left, you're gonna hear it significantly on the left-hand side, nothing on the right. I mean, it just sounds really awesome. And then the subwoofer, subwoofer on the bottom is also phenomenal. Can't see it, but it is a JBL subwoofer, and like I said, it kind of vibrates. It kind of gives you like a vibration effect. I guess if you got it on your lap or whatever, you can like feel like you're in the game or whatever, just a little bit, especially if there's explosions going on. It's pretty sweet. The next one right here is a customized button. I have not customized anything for that button as of yet, because really I don't really need anything customized to it. Don't see no need. I got all my buttons that I need right here. My mute, my sound up, sound down, which for some reason with sound up and sound down you have to go ahead and hit the FM button, but that's okay, I don't really care. Play, pause, all that kind of stuff you can do. Okay, I guess I know why I have to hit the FN button. It's because I didn't set up in this manager right here. I think this is the settings. I didn't do it to where you have to hit the FN key. Just make it multimedia key. Sorry. Now I can do sound down, sound up, mute, unmute, all that kind of stuff. Down and up, all that. So I guess it's at its fullest, brightest brightness. I mean. And the keyboard, yes, it's still backlit. That was the selling point for this computer for me. Not only the keyboard, but also the screen. The keyboard itself goes backlit, and if it's not touched for a while, as you'll probably see during this video, it'll just turn off, and that's a save battery, which is really good. A lot of people say, how do you turn it off? Well, I don't really care. I like it like that. It's not like I have to have it on if I'm watching a movie. I'd rather it turn off by itself than, you know, me have to turn it off. So on the side it has USB 3.0. I'm not going to move it. You guys probably seen plenty of videos on that. USB 3.0 right here and USB 3.0 in the back. I did not get the NVIDIA 545. I instead got the NVIDIA the NVIDIA 540. I instead got the NVIDIA 525, which in my opinion, who really cares? I'm not going to pay $100 extra just for an overclocked video card, or I'm sorry, a video card that has pretty much the same specs, just has 2 gigs of RAM. But my justification of not getting it is because my 580, my GTX 580, which can handle all my games maxed out, only has 1.5 gigs of RAM. Why would I need 2 gigs of RAM on a laptop PC? Makes no sense. I don't do any editing of videos. I don't do any graphic design. I don't do any crap like that. If I did, I probably wouldn't be getting a 525 GPU. I'll probably get one of their higher in business class GPUs. So that's that with the video card. There is 6 gigs of RAM in this. I know I'm kind of going over the same stuff, but let me just show you RAM right here. Total is 6058 megs. Total being used is 1270 megs. Total free is 7889 megs. So 4789 megs. So almost 5 gigs of RAM is not being used. But let me just go to Control Shift Escape, go to Performance, then go to Performance Monitor. As you can see, I'm only using 1.25, probably 1.3 gigs of RAM, and then 14% down to 1% after this is loaded of my CPU. Now, as you can see, I have only 1.050 megs of RAM 1.05 gigs of RAM being used, while in standby I have 1.3 gigs of RAM being used. What is standby? To my understanding, standby is programs that are in RAM that your RAM thinks, your computer thinks you will probably use. So if it thinks that I'm going to use Internet Explorer, it's going to load Internet Explorer quicker because it's already stored in RAM. And as you can see, the amount free is 3252. If I'm playing a game, this will go up to pretty much like maybe 3 megs left, which is just kind of odd. I don't really understand it too much. You guys can go ahead and post comments if you understand it a little better than I do. But the thing is, there's 6 gigs. I'm not going to run out of space. Don't need to worry about space. I got 8 gigs on my main PC, and definitely don't have to worry about space on that. There's only a laptop, so I definitely don't see myself using more than 6 gigs, especially since I do not do a video editing, I do not do encoding, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. Yes, very, very boring guy. Boo-hoo. But anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to do in this video, is just kind of show you CPU usage with the SSD. There isn't any CPU usage. The RAM, there's only 23% being used out of 6 gigs, which is really good. And GPU, I got GPU meter, which is another thing you can download from your gadgets. If you got, if you go to your gadgets and you look on here, you can go to get more gadgets online. Just click on that little link. It'll bring you up to the gadgets. Just, you know, type in whatever gadget you want to look for, and then I got the, like I said, GPU is the 525M. I am at 54 degrees Celsius on it. Don't know why it's so high. I'm not too sure. I don't know if it's using the GPU right now, but as I can see, if I'm right clicking, I have graphics properties for my Intel, my HD 3000, and I also have graphics properties for my NVIDIA GPU. So the iGPU is right here, the graphics properties and graphics options, and then the external GPU, the NVIDIA GPU control panel, is right there. As you can see, maybe not, I'm not sure. But all I know is that the fan speed is at 0, usage is at 0, and shader clock is 0. So yeah, it's pretty much using the GPU on the internal iGPU. I'm sorry, the GMP, or whatever the hell it is, graphics processor, IGP. So with that said, oh yeah, and then my SSD, I have a few games on Steam. I'm not too sure how many games, probably like 4 or 5. And just the OS, I don't have anything else installed on here. And I have used is 65 gigs, free is 158 gigs. So it just goes to show on how much space I still have left over, and I can probably install, you know, all my games that I need to install just to be able to play, you know, on the go. Do I see myself playing games on the go on this? No. Why? Because the battery will not last very long. Once this thing gets pumped on, I'm gonna you'll see soon. This fan right here, full blast kicks on because it knows this thing is pumping out some heat. It does get fairly hot over on this side. For some reason my SSD has been getting fairly warm. On my M11X, this thing never got hot, but it's kind of warm right here. This is cool, very cool to the touch. Touchpad, it's a little bit warm. I think that's because it's next to the SSD, and this is the controller. So this right here is the SSD, and over here it's hooked up to the controller, so all this right here is just causing it to be just a little bit warm. To the touch, there's no heat up here, and there's not even heat over here on the sides. Yeah, so I mean it's a really, really good computer, especially for a computer under 1,000. From Dell, and that's just because they had a little special going on. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna come back here with some reviews, with some fraps, and all that kind of stuff. Alright, this Job Willie 5